Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Praise the Lord. Good morning, and welcome back to another Good Morning Grief Devotion. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. I'm excited. I don't know about you, but I'm excited. I'm ecstatic and I'm elated, and I'm happy to be here with you on a day to lead you in a very special way in today's Good Morning Grief Devotion. This is your first time joining us, please know and understand that this is the daily grief devotion that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? I'm so glad you asked. Grief, my brothers and sisters, it is the natural, normal, and necessary response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expression of feelings and emotions. That grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is how you reveal it on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. We don't ignore it, but we explore it. We don't conceal it, but we reveal it. We don't lock it up, but we let it out. And that's why we shout good morning, because morning is a good thing. And I'm so glad that you're here with us on today as we help you to navigate through another Good Morning Grief Devotion. Good morning to everybody that's out there. Miss Connie, Miss Tamika, Miss Linda, Miss Carmen, Miss Bobby, Miss Nakisha, Miss Queen G, Davida, and everybody else that's online. Those are the ones who have just articulated good morning inside of the chat. Well, I want to welcome all of y'all and thank y'all for joining us on today. Today is day 52, and we're going to talk about the journey of grief. The journey of grief. I say all the time, grief is a journey. It is a journey that all of us embark on once we are baptized in this fraternity, this sorority of loss, change, and transition. We go on this grief journey. That's what we're going to talk about today. Grief is not a moment, it is a journey. Does not follow a straight path or a set timeline. Doesn't follow a straight path or a set timeline. It's not linear. You hear that term all the time, that grief is not linear. It is not ABC 1, 2, 3. It is not do this for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months and you'll be here. No, it is not linear. It does not follow a straight path or a set time. There is no set timeline. It's a journey. It doesn't follow a straight path. Grief be all like this. It'd be like throwing gang signs, right? Grief, you have ups and downs and over here and over there, backwards, forwards. Grief is everywhere. This is what you got to know and understand. And for those of you who are on this grief journey, of course, you already understand this, right? That some days it feels like progress, like you are moving forward. Other days it feels like you are standing still or even taking steps backwards, right? Some days I feel like progress. Oh, I'm doing good, making progress. I feel good. I'm handling this. I'm coping. Man, I'm optimistic. Some days it feels like you done took steps back. Like, what in the world is going on? It hits you, that wave comes up and snatches you and all of that stuff. I was telling somebody it's like a heartbeat. You know, a heartbeat, it goes up and down, and then it's in the middle, up and down, and then it's in the middle, and it goes up, down, and then it's in the middle. Yeah, and a lot of times that's the way grief is. There's ups, right? There's downs. Sometimes things stabilize, and sometimes we have tremendous ups, and we feeling good. Sometimes we have some treacherous downs, right? It's all a part of it. But every emotion, every tear, every memory is a part of the process. That's what I want you to understand. Every emotion, every tear, every memory is a part of the process. Whether it's up, that's part of the process, down, part of the process, stabilize, it's part of the process, right? Good days, process, bad days, process, reflective process, solitude process, happy process, sad process, tears process, uh, uh, optimistic process, pessimistic process. It's all part of the process. Every emotion, every tear, every memory, y'all, is part of the process. Healing does not mean forgetting. Healing does not mean forget. It's not about you're not forgetting what happened. You're not forgetting the person. You're not forgetting what happened. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. Moving forward does not mean leaving your loved one behind, right? That grief reshapes you, but it does not define you. This is reshaping me, but it does not define me. With time, you will learn to carry your loss differently, not as weight that holds you down, but as a part of your story that moves with you. Please hear this, y'all. It's something that stays with you. And I love it said, in time, you will be able to carry your loss differently. Right now, you're carrying it, and it may be overwhelming, it may be too heavy, it may be such a tremendous burden to bear. But in time, in time, you will learn to carry your loss differently. Watch this, not as a weight that holds you down, but as part of your story that moves with you. That is not a weight that holds you down, but as part of your story that moves with you, right? It doesn't, remember, it doesn't define you, right? It doesn't define you. It shapes you. It doesn't define you. And you learn. I wish I had this. Ooh, I don't have a picture. I have to show it, which is something that initially there's this picture of a circle, and it's like this ball in the circle, and the circle is just the ball is almost big as the ball, right? And so the ball is almost big as a circle, and so it just occupies the just about the total width of the circle. But then it shows the same circle, and the ball gets smaller, right, over time. And it talks about, and that's one of the grief models that I'm studying, and it just talks about over time, because initially it seems so overwhelming. That's the way grief is. It's so loud, it's so massive, it's so enormous, it's so big, it's so overwhelming, right? And in time, it is not as big, it is not as enormous, it is not as massive, it is not as loud. Now it's still there, because it's still got the little ball in the big circle, it's still there, but it is not as big, right? And so it's something that over time, the weight that holds you down, but it's part of your story that moves with you. This is what you got to do. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. This is the time to be patient with yourself as you navigate through this grief journey. Nothing is going to be the same. If you just waiting, if you trying to be like Boys to Men and bend the knee, can we go back to the days when everything was strong, right? Can somebody tell me how to get things back the way it used to be, right? It's not gonna go back to the way it used to be, and that's okay, right? It's all right. You got to give yourself patience. Be patient with yourself. Give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. The journey may be long, but you are not walking it alone. Here it is. Here's your point of application, y'all. Think about where you are in your grief journey. Are you in a season of deep sorrow, slow healing, or new hope? Are you in a season of deep sorrow, slow healing, or new hope? If you had to articulate, like if those were the three categories you had to pull from, or D, right? Like something else. Or would you say you're in a season of deep sorrow? Are you in a season of slow healing, or are you in a season of new hope? Right? Put it in the chat. Are you in a season of deep sorrow? Are you in a season of slow healing? Or are you in a season of new hope? When you start talking about your grief and the grief journey, what season are you in? You know how we got winter, spring, summer, fall. Are you in a season of deep sorrow? Are you in a season of slow healing? Or are you in a season of new hope? Put it in the chat, y'all. Whatever stage you are in, embrace it without guilt or pressure. I'm going to embrace this season without guilt. I'm going to embrace it without pressure, right? Trust that each step, no matter how small, is part of the process. Each step, no matter how small, is part of the process. Where are you at? Deep sorrow, slow healing, or new hope? Deep sorrow, slow healing, or new hope? Telly Davis, what's going on, my guy? I love it. New hope. I love it. LaShonda Benton says new hope. Carmen Kennedy, new hope. Michael Ford, slow healing. Miss Murray, new hope. I love it. New hope. I love it. Davada, grace, patience, and time are definitely part of this journey. I love it. Tiffany Cook, deep sorrow. Yes. Miss Davada says new hope. Mother says New Hope. Miss McCants, New Hope. Nikisha, New Hope. And I think it's important for us to understand that and to realize that Tamika Brown, New Hope. I love it. I love it. I love it. Because we're all at different places, right? We're all at different places. We're all in different spaces, depending on how recent the grief was or where we're at. I know Tiffany Cook, her sister, they just had the funeral a week ago tomorrow, right? And so definitely deep sorrow. I'm still processing. This thing is new. Like this is fresh, right? And so some of us is deep sorrow, some of us is slow healing, right? It's not quite deep sorrow. No, I ain't at New Hope yet. I'm just in the I'm processing, I'm healing, slow healing. Some of us is like, bam, New Hope, right? Miss Thomasine, slow healing, right? And so you got to know where you at. And to go back to the slide, no matter where you are, here it is. Are you in a season of deep sorrow, slow healing, or new hope? Whatever stage you are in, embrace it without guilt or pressure. Embrace it. Some people feel guilty about their deep sorrow. Some people feel guilty about their slow healing. Some people feel guilty about new hope. Like, man, the storm is over for the most part. I got new hope. And some people start feeling guilty about that. Does that mean I forgot them? Does that mean because I ain't really cried a whole lot? What does that mean? Look, you embrace it without guilt, embrace it without pressure. Trust that each step, no matter how small, brothers and sisters, this day 52. I told you this message was for me and for you. The journey of grief. I hope and pray that this lesson has been a blessing to each and every one of you. And praying for you as you navigate through your seasons of deep sorrow, slow healing, or new hope. Remember that grief, my brothers and sisters, it is indeed a journey. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all with the love of the Lord. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place for another Good Morning Grief Devotion. God bless you.